Hello and welcome back to Strongwoman High's Life is a Mishmash. Today we have a very special guest, current Scotland strongest woman in the Opens 2025 and a psychologist as well. Very interesting. We have Hope Christie. Welcome to the show, Hopey Popey. Would you like to give a brief elevator pitch, a little bit about yourself, what you're all about, that sort of jazz?
Yes, I can do. You pretty much covered the interesting bits about me already. I am a psychologist. I am a doctor. I do strongman. I am Scotland's strongest natty woman in the open category,
Hell yeah.
2024 and 25. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This will be the UKNS on Saturday. Will be my first UK level composite open. Excited.
Ooh, very exciting, very exciting. No, it's we've got a pivotal time in your like strong woman career right now, haven't we? Because we've got UKNS coming up this weekend, and then we have the Scottish Strength Cup the weekend after. So we're going to do a little bit of talking about both of them things. Well, we might as well do that now, to be fair, unless they're going to be parts of your lows and highs, but I guess we'll just rehash them when we get to them. So we've got UKNS obviously this weekend, UK and Islands, I think it's called now, isn't it? They keep changing the name. No one can keep up with it. So we're going with UKNS because that's what I think it's called.
It was when I think we were doing it before. When it initially started, it was UKNS. So let's just go with
that. Yeah, close enough. Anyway, it's Natty UK, so that's what we'll go with. So I was just looking there. I can't find the event. So do you want to give us a brief rundown of the events that we've got for the weekend?
Yeah, for sure. So we have 6 events in total. Event 1 is a squat for reps. Event 2 is a Husafell sandbag for distance. Event 3 is log for reps, which I think is disgusting to put that right in the middle. Event 4 is a rubber stone to shoulder ladder. 5 is bag throws, and 6 is this god-awful dash carry load thing where like you've got to run, pick up a sandbag, bring it back, and then load it over the yoke as many times as you can in 60 seconds.
Yeah, I've seen Jackie training for this, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm not doing that. That looks terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if you could have round up 6 of the worst events for me to do, it would have been this comp.
Nah, I don't believe that's true for a second. I'm glad that Matty's managed to get a max distance Husafell back in, though, just in case anyone was concerned that might be leaving the building. No, it's still here.
I know, no, it's not. The man loves a Husafell. Like,
loves it.
I feel like the UK's that we were both in the 82s in Ireland. Yep. We had the metal Husafell. Yep. It appeared at Worlds again, and now we have it in a sandbag version. So great.
Yeah, it just never goes away, does it? Like we keep thinking at some point that'll get boring. Nah, stays till the bitter end, doesn't it?
Honestly, he's a sadist. I think he's like, what event would you really want to do right after squatting? Oh, I know.
Yeah. Absolutely horrific, isn't it? Absolutely horrific. I'm glad to see the squats back though, because that was Natty Worlds 2023, wasn't it? And I thought that was a really good event. And I think the weights this time, because we've had that squat previously, I think the weights are a little bit better, so there won't be as much of a split across the classes. But how are you feeling anyway? How are you feeling? Let's go event through event. How are you feeling? You don't have to give your predictions though. You don't want to give it away to everybody.
To be fair, I'm quite happy to see squat for reps back because it'll be a nice little redemption for me. Because in Natty Worlds a couple of years ago, I zeroed it because I got mauled by I think a weight under that before we even got to comp. I'm not a very good squatter, so redemption for the squats I think will be good because I think I like as well what they've done is they've got like trump weights, so you can have lighter or heavier options, which I think is quite nice. We didn't obviously have that at World, so they've got that for the squat and for the log, which is pretty good. But yeah, I think squats will be okay-ish. Like I've managed to hit the top weight, so hopefully get a few on the day, and
nice.
That'll be that.
Proper. Yeah, I love that. Awesome. So, and then Husafell, you're going to just run forever until you drop to the deck?
I think my really loving, amazing coach had been giving me a 100 kilo sandbag to run with because he thought that's what the open weight was. Then he learned about 2.5, 3 weeks ago that it wasn't, and it was 90. But yeah, I still had 100 kilos in my program, so that's nice.
Well, I guess it's beneficial. It'll pay off. That'll pay off definitely.
I mean, I hope so, because otherwise I've just been blown out my arse for the last 2 weeks.
Nah, that's definitely going to make it more worthwhile. I bet.
Yeah, I
That's
hope
proper
so. Like, I think
training.
it'll be good. Like, I think the sandbags for us as well are like a bit smaller,
Mm,
so they're quite nice to get your arms around to run with. So hopefully, well, as nice as it can be to run with that. But
yeah,
yeah, I think that'll be good. Log for reps, I think will just be damage control for me in that one, because you obviously got like really top class pressers that like Roz and Ella and stuff who've both pressed like 100 kilos. So
yeah,
85 for reps for them is really not that much of they don't have to worry about that. Even with their legs being a bit fatigued after those two events, like I
yeah,
think they'll be grand. So 85 is the trump weight for us and 75 is the lighter weight. So yeah, I think my aim is just to gun for 75. I'm hoping if I do well enough in the Husafell, then I'll kind of see what I need to do
yeah,
in the log, but that's best laid plans and we'll see what happens.
yeah. You can't be far off
And
85
then
kilo log press though, you.
yeah, I mean, 82 and a half is the best I've done in training. I did 80 for two at Scotland, so then
Yeah,
82 and a half was as close as I got in this block. But I'm hoping when my legs are actually fresh, I probably would be able to do it.
yeah,
Um, but we'll see. Log and I just have never ever gotten along. I feel like the second we start to, she starts to just pull away from me. She's really so temperamental.
super temperamental. Nah, I'm with you on that. I think it's one of the hardest like overhead events to do in a comp. That where
Yeah,
I can do stuff in training and think yeah sound, and then I get to comp and I'm like, what the fuck's just happened here? Like
yeah.
this hasn't gone to
Uh,
plan.
no, exactly. And I feel like it's always log for me. Like, I don't know about you, but like Axel, I feel like is a bit more forgiving in
Yeah,
that if your legs are a bit wobbly, you can kind of catch it.
yeah,
But log she just flies right out in front of me and then I can't catch her.
yeah. I totally agree. I think it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. So then rubber stones, I think will be good. Like, I've said that to Matty. Like, I would have liked it to be longer than 60 seconds the run because they've kept the run time the same from Scotland's, but they've added 20 kilos on in weight to the stones.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I would have liked a chance to try the 100 on the day, but I don't know if 60 seconds is enough time to get from 60 through to 100 pretty quick. But
yeah,
it'll be cool. Like, I think we obviously had a rubber stone to shoulder ladder at Scotland's, but I think all the other national qualifiers had like reps or over the yoke.
yeah. They
So
did. Yeah,
it'll be cool to see other folk have a go on them. To be honest, they're a fun puzzle, but can also be very frustrating.
yeah, yeah. I can see that. And as well, you're not allowed. Is it grip tops and gloves? You're not allowed for this one
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Which seems like it's making it a lot more difficult, especially as they've made it heavier.
yeah. I think a lot of people have said that,
Mm,
and Matthew's just not bothered by
fair enough, I
by then.
guess. Yeah,
But yeah, he's taken kind of any, I suppose, aids away. So I mean, it's been good. Like, he's obviously made you really, I suppose, try any and all angles to try and get that stone up to your shoulder. But I think it'll be cool. Like, and I think it's a nice. Like, I'm glad that they've made them because it's quite a cool thing. Because I
yeah,
think I do miss doing tacky stones, but it's kind of a nice middle ground, I guess.
yeah. I agree. It's a good way to get stones still in comps, even when the venues aren't too keen on it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, obviously, I think it's really cool having comps in these kind of venues as well. Like, I feel as an athlete, like, you kind of feel a bit more special and important. Not to say there's anything wrong with like gym comps or stuff in car parks or whatever, but if you're in a
Yeah,
big stadium, it's kind of, I don't know, feels a
yeah.
bit cooler.
No, I totally
But
agree.
yeah, and then what we've got, bag throws, which I think will be a nice little respite before that horrible dash carry load at the end.
Yeah, yeah. It's a weird like running order of events. I feel like, isn't it?
Yeah, some may say sadistic, actually.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. Yeah, like it's like they're gonna absolutely destroy you in the first two events, and then be
Yeah.
like, see how you go on these ones, and then start the day with the rubber stones as well. Like what probably the hardest and most infuriating event on the
Yeah.
last day. Let's start with that and just
Yeah.
leave people be.
Oh, it's all in one day, Becca.
Oh
We're
shit! It's
just
all in one day. Oh, you
oh yeah, yeah,
fuck!
yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that. That sounds awful. That's so much worse. I thought it was going to be spread across the 2 days, but no.
No.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
now women are on the Saturday and men are on the Sunday. So shameless plug, you can watch it live stream on Strong Pass or come down to the Play Sport Arena in East Kilbride if you're in Scotland.
Hell yeah. I know I was looking at coming up, but I just don't know if I can do a drive to Scotland at the weekend. It's my final day on placement on Friday and I am cooked. It's
Yeah,
like I've been fucking cooked for weeks now. I'm just fighting
yeah,
for
yeah.
that end survival.
Yeah, I feel like you're probably going to sleep for the whole weekend actually after placement.
Yeah, literally. I've said to loads of people, I'll do this, I'll do that. And I'm like, I'm high, fuck. I'll be doing nothing. I'll be dying.
No.
Absolutely
Yeah.
dying. But oh well, well. Oh, so exciting then. So how are you feeling in general for the comp then?
Yeah, like I feel like I oscillate between I've worked as hard as I can, I've done everything I could possibly do, and whatever will be. And then the more common one is, what if it all goes horribly wrong? I can't press anything, and I don't qualify for Worlds. So it's a fun space to sit in.
Lovely, yeah, yeah, yeah. Very roller coaster, yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah, extremely. But no, I think I do it every comp prep cycle, especially like before when we get to the end. Like I'm always like that, like just kind of stress out about the worst possible case scenarios. Like I've also already checked with Stephen if I can do the online qualifier for Worlds if I don't qualify through UK's.
Yeah,
But it'll yeah, I think like I probably should be putting less pressure on myself than I am because it is my first kind of UK level comp as an open.
yeah,
But I guess we'll see. I think it's hard. Like my frame of reference for everyone in the category is Roz, and obviously she's world's strongest natural woman at the moment. So it's
yeah.
like, but I see her every day for training, and it's just like, well, if she's like that, then everyone in the class is like that.
Yeah, yeah, you're holding yourself up to that standard all the time, aren't you? And as well, like, yeah, you've said it's your first time moving up into the opens category, isn't it? And the opens is notoriously stacked, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Like I think because we were going to have Annabelle Chapman in there as well. She can't make it now, unfortunately. But yeah, she'll be at Strength Cup the week after, so
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
absolutely wild. Well, moving on then, how do you feel about competing 5 days later at the Scottish
Oh,
Strength Cup? I bet you're buzzing about that, aren't you?
like honestly, just the best planning on my part.
I feel like Matty and Stephen putting them together was an absolute shit show. They're really absolutely trying to wreck you lot there, aren't they?
Truly, because as well, like they're just like completely conflating events. Like they're
Yeah,
not even.
not even similar, are they? They're completely different events, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my like I know you were just saying about being cooked, but yeah, my body feels done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if he's expecting me to do any sessions between UK's and the Strength Cup, but I will be lying down for most of that week.
I would be, absolutely, I would be. Having done back-to-back comps like that, I can say never again. Terrible.
Yeah, because you did Euros and then Natty Worlds last year,
Yeah,
didn't
and it
you?
went fucking awful. Traumatic for everybody involved, I feel like. People still talk about how horrific I was at Natty Worlds now. So, yeah.
Just, I mean, to be fair, those were two really, and you'd just come back from bicep injury, so
Yeah, there was a lot
just
going on there, but no, I think you'll be all right because Scottish Strength Cup as well. Like you've got at least what? Well, you've got 6 days, haven't you? Because you competed on the Saturday and then you competing the next
yeah.
Saturday, so you've got six
I know.
days. And
Days. It's not as if I've also volunteered to help on Sunday at UK's, so yeah.
oh no, oh no. To be fair, maybe the movement might help you. It might make you feel a bit better. You never know.
This was my kind of logic, but
It's like a
also
mobility day, sort of.
exactly. It's essentially active movement, active recovery. That's what it is.
Exactly. What could go wrong?
Yeah, I think no, the Strength Cup should be really good. Like I'm a lot less pressurized for that because it's obviously fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be good. Like I think the events are pretty exciting for that. I've obviously been trying to push my deadlift a bit more, so I pretty much want to do the deadlift and the sandbag to shoulder and then just leaves.
To be honest, this is exactly how I felt about it. Like I feel like I'm gonna give the deadlift a real good shot. See
Yeah,
if I can get a decent sandbag, I'll be buzzing, and then the
yeah.
rest of the day I don't really fucking care. To be honest, I feel like we're both on a similar plane of thought with the Scottish Strength Cup. It's just a bit cracking it, just a bit crack.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, it'll be cool. Like I think, and it'll be nice to. I think like it's always the same with comps, like UK level and above. Like it's nice to compete with other girls that like are more international. You don't get to see them as much, so like we obviously kind of keep in touch over social media and stuff. But it's cool to see people in person. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So we'll quickly go through Scottish Strength Cup events then, just for the sake of everybody listening. So we've got max raw deadlift, which
Yeah, I love how you really emphasize the raw
just to
there.
make everyone sure, yeah, it's fucking raw. I won't be wearing a suit, so I'm fucked. But it starts at 200, which I think is shan. I think we should have at least been able to start 180, because then at least I'd have got a point on the board, whereas 200 is like, be the,
Yeah, nah, you're getting 200.
be the first time I've ever pulled 200 raw, and it'll be a 20 kilo PB, so
Well, we're the best place to have it is right in comp. So
I know, and I sometimes I can just pull it out the bag like that. So I've not completely given up on it. I have got a little inkling of hope in there. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, maybe. So yeah, we've got that, and that's going up. It goes up pretty heavy fast, doesn't it? It goes like 215, 230. Is it
two,
two?
four, five.
Yeah, so it's 15 kilo jumps, which is hectic.
Mad. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see the clustering of points. Like I get why he's done it that way, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the girls cluster. Because 230 to 245 is a big jump if
massive.
you're do you know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see if anyone pulls 245
It will
raw.
be really cool. I'm excited. I think there's a couple that have got the potential there for it,
Yeah,
definitely. So, and because it's first event, like everyone's going to go beans out, aren't they? So
totally.
it should be
Totally.
good.
No, I think it'll be cool. Like I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I think that will be good. And then what are we need next? Bag throws.
I, mm, I don't know. I thought it was sandbag to shoulder, but I
No,
clearly
I'm pretty
I've not paid
sure.
attention to anything that they've sent me, as you can tell.
I really enjoy that anytime Stephen said anything in that chat, you just are like, no, that's shit. That's shit.
I bet
Let's not do
he regrets inviting me. The day he did it, I know he regrets inviting me and making that group chat, because everything he said, I've had a comeback for. So yeah, he's had his
Nah,
comeback
I
this
like
time.
It's really good entertainment. But I think his logic was that he wants to do something that's pretty like heavy on the spine and then a bit lighter. So I think it's bag throws and then sandbag to shoulder.
Yeah, I'm trying
Uh,
to have a look now and see if I can see it. Yeah, it is bag toss. Yeah, so that's all right. I mean, it gives everyone a break at least, doesn't it? That's what I always think with bag toss. I'm like, it's a bit of a shit event because people don't get it when they watch it, do they? It's like, oh, look, I throw that bag so high in the air. But
okay.
yeah, it's unless you've done it yourself, you don't really understand the concept of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, it's handy in a comp because you get a break, don't you?
totally.
That'll be what it'll
So
be.
yeah, I think it's that, and then sandbag to shoulder,
Yeah,
and then which I think will also be pretty cool.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I think once the sandbag to shoulder's done, you and I can maybe just bow out and
Be like, done now. See ya. I'm
see you
off.
later. That's great.
That was enough for me, thanks. To be fair, well, yeah, sandbag to shoulder, I'm excited about. I think because obviously it goes from 90 to 130. I think we're being given as the top option.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot of girls that hit that 120 as well. I've had this discussion with a few people, and
mm,
people are like, no way. And I'm like, especially if
yeah,
the
way.
bags are small, because that's the
Yeah,
biggest problem I've had training this is the access
yeah.
I've had to bags. I've only had the 120 Cerberus bag, which is fucking long. And
One.
can I
Yeah,
fuck get that to my knee? It won't. Like, it just doesn't go there. Whereas the hundreds, every day of the week, I can get that up. And I know if the bag's smaller, I'll be able to pick it and get it onto my knee. But
yeah. Yeah, no, I would totally agree, and I think like that's we'd been training it in the gym like that because I think like we've got a 100 Cerberus bag and then a 110 strength register one,
yeah,
which is a bit floppy but also a bit long. And it's like I did 110 in the 100 Cerberus bag, but then tried the 110 in the strength register one, and it's the same problem. Just can't get it to my knee.
yeah,
But it's like I know that I'm strong enough to do it. It's just awkward.
yeah. That's what I find as well. So I think that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah,
And then to be fair, I might stay for circus dumbbell because I do like
yeah.
that.
We just got 53 the other day, so
Yeah, I was buzzing about that. I've just fucking failed it so many times. I was getting really angry about it. Just kept thinking
yeah,
about it. Like I'd wake up in the morning and be like, I'm fucking circus dumbbell. Fuck.
Dumbbell.
It's because it's the only one at the gym at the moment. So there's 53 or 71. So my choices
Oh,
for
right.
training it are very limited. So I had to hit that 53 to be able to get the training time under it. But
Yeah.
we eventually got it. But you guys have you got the actual dumbbells?
Yeah, we got them, I think, last week. So they're really nice, actually, because you've got, is it the Strength Shop one, the 53 that you've got?
Yeah.
Because the factory weight ones is quite nice. Like, they're like almost a bit like matted, so they've got a little bit more grip to them. Their
Yeah.
handles are a bit smaller, because I think that was the thing I find with the bigger Strength Shop ones is the handle's so long, it
Yeah.
like just pulls your shoulder here, there, and everywhere when you're trying to press it. So yeah, they're quite nice. But again, like kind of 10 kilo jumps, so quite a big. So yeah, I think we've got the options of 40, 50, 60. He said the 70 is there if anyone wants to press it. I will politely be declining.
So.
But I don't know. I feel like, again, there's probably one or two in our group that probably could press it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think someone will press that 70 kilos. It wouldn't surprise me. And I think, to be honest, there'll be a lot of people doing the 60 and going for
Yeah.
reps on the 60 because it's for reps, isn't it? But I think we have the choice of any.
Yep.
But then whatever heaviest one you get is your trump, basically. So if you only get one rep on the 60, you can't then drop back down to 50 and start slamming reps out, which is fair enough. But
Yeah.
I think it would be more exciting. Just do all of them.
I mean, to be honest, if you think about it, he can't stop you once you're out there.
I just do them all. Just do them like a ladder. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, exactly. You can't stop you once you're on the.
He can't stop me
platform.
doing anything, to be honest. And I think that's probably one of his main concerns for this entire comp is that I will be out of control, as usual.
I'm looking forward to that aspect of it, to be honest.
It's going to be great. I'm still standing by the fact that I think we should actually just have a BJJ match at the beginning instead of the max deadlift, and I'll just fight Stephen. And if he wins, then yeah, fair enough, we'll do the deadlift. But if I win, I get to change the first event. Yeah, or I technically win the deadlift event, then everyone else has to go and do the deadlift.
Yeah. I personally think that as a spectator, seeing some sort of fight at the start would be great.
I do too. Get everyone riled up, wouldn't it? It'd be amazing. Yeah. And everyone would love to see me beat his head in. So, imagine me pulling him to the floor, triangling him on the floor, and he's there choking out. People would pay to see that.
People would pay,
and I'd be there. Anyway, stop talking about fighting Stephen because he'll get a bigger head because he'll think I actually want to fight him. So, and then we've got sandbag steeplechase, which this is. There's no way. I was saying this to a couple of people the other day. I don't think I'm going to finish this. Not a chance.
I think like it made me laugh because when him and I recorded a podcast to talk about the events, and I'm sure he went, yeah, I see people finishing that in about like 40 odd seconds.
Who? Yeah, who's moving this fast? Like Laura Baxter, I think has the potential, and probably Sabrina as well. And Angeline as well. I think she's probably got potential to finish this fairly quickly. However, it's at 90 kilos and it's what? Is it 5 picks?
5 picks, 4 loads, and then what, 60 meters or something?
Yeah, 50, 60 meters or something. And we only have 60 seconds to finish it. So I was training this setup with a 60 kilo sandbag and I was coming out in like 47 seconds. And I was like, and this is with 60 kilos that I can just pick and run with, like not 90. So yeah, I'm skeppy about finishing this event. Like,
yeah, I haven't even trained it, so you've got one on me.
Lucky you, it's shit.
Yeah, I was kind of low key hoping that he'd dropped the event out of the comp because I'd never seen it in my program, and I was like, "Oh, amazing, it's gone." But no, it's still there. But yeah, you've got other kind of you've got people like Lou as well. I think she's dead fast with a sandbag, so I would probably put my money on her finishing.
Yeah.
But she'll also be fatigued because she'll have just done UKs the week before. So I guess we'll see. I think I'll give it my best go, but I think I don't think I'll get the way back, but I think I'll be timed out before I get there.
Yeah, I think I'll probably get about halfway, and then to be honest, I'm at a point now, especially like I've noticed this in training. I think it's just because I'm in a strongman like bottom pit at the moment, where I start doing something, I'm like, fucking hell, this is really hard. You could just give up, and I'm like, okay, I just stop.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like doing the dash carry load event for UK is like at one point he programmed me like 10 loads, like reps back and forward over the yoke. And I think I got to 8 and I felt like I was going to be sick. And I was just standing holding the bag being like, do I put it down or do I not? I don't know what to do.
What should I do? Nah,
Yeah,
I'd have just given up at that point. I wouldn't have even made it to 8 probably. I'd have just been like 2 and I'd
yeah,
have been
I
like,
think.
close enough.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, and I feel like especially with those more gritty sandbag events in training, mentally, I'm like, I don't care. But like in comp, I will do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just not the same.
Hard to get the motivation when you're training though, innit? Like,
Yeah, really.
I don't have that there, no, not a
No.
chance. And then our final event, Hercules Hold. I'm well excited for this. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I haven't trained it
it'll
at
be-
all. And to be fair, I think I've only ever done a Hercules Hold once before. So
Yeah.
be excited to see
I
how that
think to be
goes.
honest, like I don't think having time on the implement necessarily would be an advantage.
No.
Because I think like everyone trains grip and stuff anyway. I think the only thing I would say maybe being on it gives you an advantage of is like obviously that initial like pull when you take the weight of it. It's like mentally reassuring yourself that it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I think immediately, I think because we were watching some of the boys do it, and even then when they took the weight, they were like, "Oh fuck, I can't hold this. I can't hold it." I was like, "No, you can."
Yeah.
It just feels horrible in your hands, but I think if you're training grip, then you know what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, this is.
Oh,
I've trained grip. I've been doing a bit of grip stuff, but what I will say is I always struggle with like grip events that are like arms outstretched, and that's
yeah,
because
yeah,
of my bicep because it just feels like it's gonna ping, and like it
yeah,
never has. But I vividly remember, like even before my bicep came off, we did was that like UK's fucking I can't remember final eliminators or something for Glenn,
yeah,
and he did a
yeah,
car hold with straps, and I remember
yeah,
then both my biceps felt like they were going to ping off, and I was like, "Fucking, this is awful." So
yeah.
I'm feeling like that's what Hercules Hold's going to be like for me.
I think like I don't like because I my bicep's been really niggly through this prep. Like, not that it's come off, but I don't find it's too bad for that. So hopefully it'll be fine when you do it.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, just let go.
just like I just be like that. I'm done. That can't be asked. I'm done now. Well, I will say though, if your biceps been being niggly, just keep an eye on it. But don't watch that one. Watch the other one because that's the one that'll fucking go. Because that's what it did to me.
Yeah,
My right
yeah,
one was like, "Oh, I'm really sore. Oh, look at me, I'm really sore." And then my left one was like, "See ya, I'm
yeah.
off." Fuck you, looking
I'm
at
not
the
even
wrong one.
warning you, I'm off.
Yeah, it's never the one that you think you need to worry about. It's the other one.
It's the other one.
Sneaky little left bicep causing havoc. Cool. How are you feeling then for Scottish Strength Cup as well?
Yeah, good. Like I think like that one's definitely a lot less pressure. Like I think, like you say, it's going to be a bit of fun. Like it'll be cool to share the floor with some absolute monsters in terms of strength. And yeah, like I think I'll do whatever I can do. But then watching folk like I don't know pull a 245 deadlift or shoulder a 130 bag or more, it's like that's class.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's going to be such a high standard of athlete. I'm just happy to be there and involved with it.
Yeah,
Me, like I'm
yeah,
glad to be part of it. That's all I am. And as long as I do what I think I can do on the day, I'll be happy with
yeah.
myself.
Yeah, totally. Like I'm the same. Like I think it'd be cool if I could get a deadlift PB. If I can get that 120 bag to my shoulder, I would be buzzing.
Yeah,
And then yeah, just whatever happens the rest of the day will be class. The Hercules hold at the end will be really cool. Like I think he's getting some made specifically for the comp, and they haven't arrived yet. But I'm excited to see what they look like because I bet they look.
yeah,
Cause I'm sure he says he wants us to go like 3 at a time, so
class.
that'll be like, really really cool.
Yeah, that's just gonna be an awesome spectacle, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So now I think it'll be a good day. Hopefully, like the weather's pretty decent, and yeah, we class.
And there'll be a massive sesh afterwards because I'm there. So
Yeah, exactly. And there's a bar at the venue, so really we can start right
to
away.
be honest, I'll probably be tanked by event 2. Like bag throw, I'll be like, "Nice one, give us a pint,
Yeah,
let's fucking go." Once that deadlift's out of the way, I'm like, well, that's really the only thing that I've been training semi difficulty for. Like everything else,
yeah,
I've sort of been like, well, I'll just wing it on day, be all right, won't it?
yeah. To be fair, I would like to see you either do Hercules hold. Actually, I'd want to see you do the sandbag half cut. If you can.
I'll aim for that, yeah.
roll about the track with the sandbag. That'd be
Oh,
fine.
by the fucking steeplechase, I'll be hammered, absolutely hammered. I'll just be sick everywhere. Be like, nah, be sick, start again, get smashed again for Hercules hold, and then I'll be ready
Yeah.
for the night out.
Then you could actually fight Stephen right at the end if you wanted.
Yeah, I might do 2 double rounds.
Yeah,
See,
right at the end.
yeah,
Yeah. See, like, and if you beat him again at the end, then that's just a really biggest like assertion of dominance because you'll be knackered by that point
absolutely.
and drunk, and you've still kicked his head in.
Yeah. No, I think at that point there, he should then give me the Scottish Strength Cup. I'll own it. It'll be my Strength Cup.
Yeah, it's your comp for next year.
I'll fight for the ownership of it at the end. I'll fight for the deadlift at the beginning and the ownership at the end.
Class.
Right, well, we've got a good plan for it then. I can't wait for Stephen to listen to this and be like, I hate both of you.
He tells me he hates me on a daily basis anyway, so there's nothing new there.
Yeah, well, give him more reasons to hate you more. Perfect. Yeah. Lovely. Right, well, let's get into the actual podcast then, because I've already kept you for half an hour and we haven't actually talked about you, so... Sorry.
I'm not interested, it's fine.
No, you are very interested. So, what is your Strongwoman high?
So I was thinking a lot about this, right? And it's probably going to be the cheesiest answer you've had on this podcast, but like, I think the high is just like the people that I train with, like the whole like, and I'm sure everyone thinks that about their own gym like community, but like genuinely, like the folk in GBA are just such a like amazing, like motivational, like supportive group of people. And I don't think like, so I was trying to think like of a comp that was like stand out for me or whatever, but I've never been to a comp on my own. Like I've always been with other GBA people, either competing with or them just being there to support. And I think like they just make the whole sport. Like I wouldn't be doing it without them. And like even on days where I cannot be arse training, like go down and end up staying there for like 3 hours just to have a laugh with them. So say it's super cheesy, but yeah, my high is them.
No, I love it. I love that because I do think that's like massively important in the sport. And you guys have got a really good, like tight knit training crew as well, haven't you? And you all seem to be able to consistently train a lot of the time. And I wonder whether that is because you have that group where you're all like not reliant on each other as such, but you're holding each other accountable all the time, aren't you?
Definitely. No, I think you're right because I think like we know when other folk are going to be in, so it's like even if you can't be bothered, you're like, nah, I'll go because you know, like if like especially for this prep because Roz and I have been doing a lot of the same events together, then like it's like oh, I'll go in because we're going to set this up and do it together, and it's just I don't know, especially for like stuff like sandbag for distance or whatever, like you give up not as easily if you've got someone screaming at you to keep going. So I think like I'm very fortunate that like Stephen built that community in the first place, and then I feel like really privileged to be a part of it.
No, I love that. I agree because I remember when we did Europe's a couple of years ago and we had like there was like me, Jenny, Donna, Rachel, like a few of us all training together, all doing the same events. You don't have to fucking try harder, like you definitely do. You definitely put more effort in, you try much harder in the prep, you're like pushing yourself against other people, and because of that you do better overall.
Yeah, definitely. And like again, like and then getting to share the hard work of that at the end. Like, do you know what I mean? If you guys are all at Europe's together, or like when we were all at UK's, like it just like, and then I don't know. I feel like it's again a bit sappy, but like then you feel the win much more as well. Like I remember like a few years ago there was like a deadlift ladder for one of the UK's, and we all lost our shit when Ailey got the last one because she'd been trying for it for the whole prep and hadn't got it, and then pulled it right at the end, and like we just all went mental. But it's like you see the kind of hard training and the fails and everything else, like the tears and everything else that goes into it, and then when they get it on the day, it's like it's class.
It's so much more enjoyable when you're all sharing like the victories together, isn't it? And I think as well because you feel like you've like it's hard because there's part of you I think that feels like you've done them really proud, but even when you don't do that well, they're the ones that will reassure you that you've not let anybody down by not doing that as well. So having that group of people there that support you no matter what you're doing, like a bit of a family really, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and I think that that's like spot on. Like, I think all of us are quite bad at getting in our own heads about events or about stuff not going well, or and I think it's really nice just to have that I suppose those voices of reason around you, like they might not be following their own advice, but giving it to you is pretty good. So yeah, I think it's definitely like feel very lucky to have that, like those kind of training partners around for sure.
Yeah. Do you still think you'd be training strongman if you hadn't found that gym? It's a bit of an explosive
Honestly,
question.
I know. Honestly, I don't think so. Like, because and it was really funny because like obviously I just fell into the sport really randomly. I'm glad I found it. And I think I remember I'd only been getting coached by Stephen for like maybe about 3 weeks or something at that point. And he'd said like, "Oh, we're going to have like a team training day, like come down and stuff." And I remember being so nervous about it because I was like, "What if I embarrass myself in front of all these like insanely strong women?" But it actually was really nice, and it like gave me a chance to kind of meet them all and talk to them. And then it was just kind of a natural progression after that we would all train together on a Saturday. And then, yeah, we just kind of, now I just don't leave them alone ever.
Yeah, you are a proper tight knit group, aren't you? And you've been like that for a while as well. Like that tight knit group has been together for a while now, like at least 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, this will be, I think, my fourth year as strongman. So yeah, and they were even like they were a unit before I even joined. So yeah, some of them have been OG members for a long time. But like, yeah, it's cool. And I think we've obviously got like a few guys that train in the gym as well, and like. They are pretty good to have around just to kind of balance it out. And like they train obviously different stuff to us, but like it's actually really nice just to have a good laugh with everyone and like try and not take it, remind you not to take it as seriously if shit doesn't go right.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love that. If you were trying to give someone advice, so if someone was listening to this podcast and they're like, "Fucking hell, I just wish I had a nice like gym environment to go and train in the crew," what would you say to them? What would your advice be?
That's actually such a good question. I mean, to be fair, if you're in Scotland, like, come join us. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're anywhere near Edinburgh, get yourself there.
Yeah, don't create your own group, just join us. But nah, like I think like if you're, I think like I say, like most people probably do are quite fortunate they have one or two people in the gym that they like are training similar events or like training same comps or just doing a bit of training. But yeah, if you can build up that community a little bit, even by like, because we started off just having team training days on a Saturday where I think people were doing different like qualifiers or comps or whatever, or sometimes it was just a chance. Stephen just set it up so that we would all have someone to train with,
Yeah,
because we would all have kind of similar programs, albeit different goals. But that in itself is quite nice. So yeah, try and find that if you can. If there's folk in your gym that are also doing strongman stuff or maybe a bit of CrossFit stuff or whatever, that you can be like, oh, I'll jump in with you, and then you can start to build up the community that way, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's great advice. Yeah, I think to be fair, in general as well, strongman is quite an open sport. Like the majority of people in this sport are sound and like, and
Yeah.
we all love training together because it means less
Yeah.
kit to put away at the end.
Oh, yeah, truly. See, when I like it's conveniently been the way that Roz and I have deadlifts on the same day, and I come in and do mine, and then she magically appears right at the end, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'll just leave this bar for you, Roz. That's fine.
Yeah,
You can put all the plates away because the rule is if you've touched it last, then you've got to put the kit away.
yeah. No, literally, if I'm training anything and someone's like, "Oh, can I jump in with you on that?" I'm like, "Yes, you can.
Yes, please,
Absolutely. Come on, join
absolutely.
in, mate. Do you want to do this set while I have a bit of a breather?" Of course. Yeah, I fucking love it.
Yeah, nah, but you're right. Like, I think like the majority of people in the sport are super open and like, and that's the thing as well. Like, do you know what I mean? If you're a bit of a drive away from like a gym and you want to try and round people up to go down and try kit or just have a bit of a day out to some, like everyone seems to be super open for you going down to their gym to have a go or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's awesome. Well, let's move on then and ruin the good vibes with what's your strong woman low?
So I think the low for me would probably be I was maybe about 4-ish months into starting strongman. I had an accident and I was trying to load an atlas stone onto a platform and I lost my balance and fell backwards and sandwiched myself in between the stone I was holding and a stone that was right behind me, and I cracked my ribs. And
Mm.
oh, it was so painful. And yeah, Stephen, and there was one other guy in the gym at the time. Stephen hadn't seen what I'd done, and I hadn't filmed it, unfortunately, because it'd be good to watch it back. But Stephen goes, "Do you want to just try and pick up the stone again so I can see what you did?" And I obviously didn't realize at the time I'd cracked my ribs, so
Yeah.
did try and pick up the stone. Had an absolute pain ricochet through my whole side, and I was like, "Nah, I can't. Sorry." And he was like, "Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it." He was like, "Oh, you maybe just winded yourself or something." So I think he suggested dead hanging. And I tried to foam roller myself because I thought that would
Oh,
fix it,
oh
which actually
God.
made the pain so much worse. But yeah, I think that was about 16-ish weeks recovery for that. Which, and I think ribs are annoying because I think they don't, unless you're kind of having a lot of breathing difficulties or whatever, they're worried you might have punctured a lung, they don't x-ray you because they're saying there's no point in exposing your body to that much radiation
Yeah.
for confirm something they know and actually can't fix anyway. You just gotta
Yeah.
let it heal. So yeah, it was a bit of a frustrating injury because there were certain things I was sure would hurt it, which didn't, and then there were other things that weirdly didn't hurt it that I thought should. And it was just, I think it happened so early on in my strongman journey that I wasn't quite sure how mentally to deal with the recovery of it. And I was already feeling like I wasn't as strong as the girls I was training with, and then in my head I was like, well, now I'm just getting weaker because I'm not actually doing anything other than bench because
Yeah.
that's what I could do. But I mean, obviously, the reality was it wasn't that bad. 16 weeks kind of passed, and then being able to do stuff. I think that after, I don't know if you ever had that with your bicep, but after the rib crack and injury, I was always kind of a bit feared of certain things like stones and deadlifts or anything I had to brace majorly for because I
Yeah.
felt like I couldn't properly do it, and I was always just a bit hesitant of things hurting it again.
Yeah.
But it's fine now. We've not had any other touch wood, any other injuries.
Amazing, yeah. Touch wood, fucking hell, touch that desk. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that because I've got similar. To be honest, I don't feel it as much in my bicep, but my back, because I've hurt my back
Yeah,
multiple
yeah,
times.
yeah,
I know it's gonna cut. I know it's come in, but I almost have to train my brain to go. This doesn't actually hurt. This is your brain just trying to protect itself at this point. Just ignore it. So,
yeah.
which to be fair, probably isn't the best thing because then I do actually injure it quite regularly anyway because I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, I think that mental side of it, and this is a really interesting thing, and I find this really interesting, especially coming from a physiotherapy background. Is I
Yeah,
think the mental side of injuries is much harder to deal with, especially in a return to sport, than it is
yeah.
the physical side of it.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. Well, I mean, yeah, I would totally agree because I think physically, the once the time's passed, it's healed. Do you know what I mean? If
Yeah,
you've done all your physio and your exercises, it's healed and it'll come back up to strength. But mentally, it's not the same level of training. Do you know what I mean? So it's it takes a lot more work and effort for you to, like you say, either tell yourself that this is your brain trying to protect your body and actually you're not in any kind of immediate danger, you can push through it, or even I just found it mentally hard to kind of I suppose keep focused and reassure myself during the injury stage. I don't know if you were like that with your bicep when you kind of obviously had to then take time off of, and not that I'm saying you're not back on a good track now, but obviously you were your overhead was flying
yeah,
before
yeah.
the bicep happened, and I can imagine that being quite frustrating, mentally for you to then have to wait till bicep healed before you went again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's more that you think because you've had that injury, and in my head when I had that bicep off, I was like, I'm out for at least a year here. And as it
Yeah,
started to heal, I realised that time frame was getting shorter and shorter, and I was able to set myself more and more goals. But that being said, those first comps back, I was shitting myself.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, there's no way you're ready for this. There's no way you've had enough time to actually recover for this. And again, I think that was my brain just a subconscious, I'm trying to protect you.
yeah,
We shouldn't be doing this. And that is what I found the hardest part to fight through and be like, no, you're fine. Or phantom pain where it is genuine pain, but there's no problems. There's not actually
no,
anything wrong with you. It's just your body producing pain to go, just be
yeah.
warned.
It's there.
That
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
used to hurt, and now I'm gonna make it hurt now, just to make you aware that
Yeah,
it's there. And you're like, "There's nothing there. It's fine."
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think yeah, that definitely. I think the first kind of heavy deadlift session I did, or the first time I was back on stones, because I remember as well when I was like I think part like really excited to get back to stones, and then when the session came, I was like, oh crap, what if I like fall and hurt myself again? Like, what if the same thing happens? And I'm sure Stephen deliberately made me do stone to shoulder for the first time I'd ever done it, and he was like, yeah, that's your first session back, on you go. And I don't if it was more just to be like, let's just take the fear out of it completely and do
Yeah,
something really stupid,
yeah.
um, which did help, to be
Well, I
fair.
think to be honest, that's probably the best thing because you'll have been thinking about how to get it to your shoulder instead of about
Yeah,
what you did
yeah,
before.
all over. Yeah. Yeah, the Matt. See, it's annoying because he's going to listen to this and his ego's going to inflate, but he is always right.
Well, hopefully he just did it as a mistake and I've enlightened him there.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
fucking
let's
hell,
bring
yeah,
him up.
that's a
Be
well
like,
good idea. I'm like, I know.
yeah.
Nah, it's hard coming back from injury. Did you find that having, well, this is just a general strongman question. Do you find that having a background in psychology and being an actual doctor gives you an upper hand with like the mental side of it?
I think like I feel like people assume that it will, but it like my whole job is built on the premise of do as I say, not as I do. So yeah, I think like I'm very good at giving the advice out, like either like sports stuff or mental health wise, but I cannot follow my advice. It's like it's one of those things of like being so painfully self aware that it's happening, but actually like can't really do anything to fix it. Like I think to be fair, like I remember, I think just before Euros a couple of years ago, I was working with Amelia Potter, the sports psychologist, who was really good. And I feel like maybe my background helped in being able to take things on a bit quicker or kind of put things into practice a little bit quicker. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, it sadly doesn't help out as much as you think it's going to.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Because I feel a bit like that as a physio. Like, it's say
Yeah,
do as I say, not as I do. Because I like fuck do I do mobility and fucking stretches? Like, I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you to do it though, like, because it's
yeah.
important.
Absolutely. And I'm the exact same, whether it's like work stuff or like I say, gym strongman stuff. Like, yeah, listen to what I have to say because it's reasonably correct, but I won't do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's difficult, isn't it? So with your work then, you're busy as well, aren't you? You do a lot, like you've done papers and everything, haven't you? Do you find
Yeah.
how do you find that work training balance?
I think it's probably actually really helpful for me. I'm very much a like all or nothing type of person. So like if I'm find something that I quite like doing, like I'll pour my whole self into it. And I think for the longest time, work probably was all consuming, and I would work like till ridiculous o'clock at night, and then get up and do the same thing again, which is obviously not a healthy thing to do. So the sport's probably been really helpful for that because it's actually made me shut off and like I know that like everyone else is getting to the gym about 5ish for training, so like I know that I've got to cut off at that point and then go, which has been really really good. I think for me just to give a bit of um, balance because I think it's easy to kind of get super caught up in publishing or looking for grants or doing whatever else. So
Yeah.
yeah, nice to have a bit of a break. Do you find that as well? Like I know your placement finishes on Friday, but like have you
Yeah.
had the same thing with uni and that?
Sort of. I think I've struggled because I've never really had a 9 to 5. So every time I get put back into a 9 to 5 situation, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I
Yeah,
hate it.
yeah,
And it takes all of my like I really struggle with being mentally tired. Like not
yeah.
physically, so I won't do anything all day. Like I'll be sat down most of the day, like 2,000 steps maximum. But when I get
Yeah.
home, I'm so exhausted. I think I can't do anything. I can't do
No.
anything. Like I just need to sleep, and
Yeah.
it ruins me because if I fall into that, which I did when I got back from Arizona, I didn't do fuck all. I've only started really training properly the last like week and a half. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like it took me so long to recover from that, and then being straight onto placement that I had no work life balance at all. But it was just from trying to catch up all the time. But
Yeah. I feel like it's different as well, I guess, for like uni work because obviously you need to get it done by a deadline. Whereas like for the most part, like for my work now, like unless it's something like super, yeah, if there's something coming up that I have to get stuff done by, otherwise, like it'll. I think the best thing for me is reminding myself that it can wait till tomorrow. So like I can go and have a life and train and do whatever else, as opposed to just sitting at my desk all the time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's difficult, isn't it, when you're using your brain all day and you're like,
No, yeah.
fucking get to the end of the day and you think, I just don't want to think. I don't want to think.
No, I don't. I actually don't want to, because it's the same. Like, I feel like people always think like that I'll be super into like reading and stuff, and I'm like, I fucking hate reading. I hate it so much because I do it so much for my work. I
Yeah, I spend
hate
all day
books.
reading.
So like, yeah, exactly as you say, like just mental tiredness of like, I don't want to have to think about anything else or do whatever. So again, I think strongman's quite good for that. For some lifts, I feel like you don't have to think about it, just pull it off the ground or whatever and run
Absolutely.
around.
Yeah,
Fine.
100%. And I think as well, when you go and do training, like you always do feel better afterwards. I mean, I've noticed like especially when I got back from Arizona, there was a couple of sessions that started and I didn't start to feel better. And at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
and I think this is again another thing that I've learned as I've got older and like
yeah.
my training age has increased. If I start a session and it feels bad after like the first couple of things I've done, I'm like, fuck this. No,
Oh, yeah,
this is in the
yeah,
bin. I'll
yeah,
do this another time. Like it's not happening. And I think that's a
yeah,
really hard thing to get to as well. Is even though like I know I should do it and I know it will make me feel better eventually. If it's not
yeah.
feeling better when I'm starting it, you just need to sometimes go. Actually, this probably isn't going to
Yeah,
help.
definitely. Because I think like I'm the same as you, that I think when I first started, I was so stubborn that I'd be like, no, no, I will stay and I'll do the whole session and that'll be it. But actually, sometimes then that was generally when I'd probably have like a bigger cry or something else would happen or something else would like, it would just make me feel even worse.
Yeah,
Like, so I should have just left.
yeah.
But like you say, as your training age increases, you kind of realize that like, yeah, that's fine. It's
Yeah.
not that big.
Like people say to me, "Oh, do you have shit sessions?" And I think actually, no, I don't now.
Yeah,
Because if I'm having
yeah,
a shit session, I just give up. And like
yeah.
that might sound terrible for people. I'm like, "Oh, you give up on a session?" Yeah, I do. Because in my mind, it's not beneficial for me to have a shit session. I'd rather not
Oh,
have a shit session, come back and try it again in a couple of days and have a good
yeah,
one. And then get a
yeah,
benefit out of it instead of just have a garbage session. But you need to be
yeah.
honest with yourself when you're doing that, though. You need to be able to be
Totally.
really self aware and honest because it's very easy to be like, oh, this is a bit of a shit session just because you can't be arsed.
No, definitely. And in that sense, I would say, like, it's technically not then giving up, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just realizing that at this moment in time, that's not what your body or your brain or both
Yeah.
needs. And then come back. And so it's actually not giving up. It's just
Saving it for
doing
another
what's
day.
best for you.
Yeah. Saving
Yeah.
it for another day.
Self care. That's what it is.
Yeah. Self care. That's what it is. Good old self care.
As a psychologist, it's self care. That.
Just use that for everything.
Fuck it.
Just self care. Don't worry about it. This is what
Yeah,
we need
don't
to be
worry about
doing.
it. Self care.
Min, love it. So, right, let's do the final proper question then, me real question.
Yeah.
What would you say to yourself when you first started the sport then?
I feel like it's funny because I feel like the things that I would say to myself just starting, I probably say to myself now, like I do not take on any of my own advice whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, like I think yeah, if I was talking to myself just starting the sport, it would definitely be like just try and not preoccupy yourself with what other people are doing. Like it isn't the same journey. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you're just coming into it. Like yeah, but I had a bit of a CrossFit background, but like not like. Do you know what I mean? Like some of the girls I train with have got powerlifting backgrounds. Others have come from like lifting or rugby or something else. Like so, everyone's background's different. So try and not preoccupy yourself with what other people are doing. And like I think pretty much along the lines of what we were just saying, like I know I've got it tattooed on myself, but it like literally is all money in the bank, like all the time, like whatever. Even sessions where it isn't going the way you want it to go, or do you know what I mean? Like your dumbbell is actually a perfect example of that. Like think how many times you cleaned that and tried to press it. Like every single time you're building muscle memory, you're building
Yeah.
strength, you're like do you know what I mean? It is all money in the bank. It is working. Like even if it's not exactly what you want and you're not hitting the rep, like it's you're still doing something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like those are the two things I'd probably say to my younger self. I should probably say that to my current self as well. But
Just keep reminding yourself all the time.
Genuinely, like I think so, I think that's as well like why I think Stephen and I get on quite well as like coach client, because I think he's got such a pragmatic man brain of like it's this or it's this and that's it. There's nothing else. And I feel like I overthink everything. To me, everything is grey. There is no black or white. Whereas like he's like, no, it's that or it's that. So
Yeah.
just why are you bothered about it? Just get on with it. I'm like, actually, yeah, that is right.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I feel very similar. I'm a grey person. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have strong opinions on anything. I have opinions, a lot of them, but mostly
Yeah, I've got
opposing.
a lot of opinions, but they're not like super strong ones. Just
I could be
yeah,
easily convinced either way most of the time.
yeah,
Like, if you've got a good argument, I'll probably believe you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm open to hearing other people's thoughts on stuff, but like, yeah, I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Like, and again, like it's so much easier to say to other people. Like, I'm very good at saying like this stuff, but I never follow my own advice. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so yeah, past me and current present me, and most likely future me will need to hear the same things.
Yeah, I love that. I love that money in the bank thing though. I use that quite a lot. Like I fail all the time in fucking sessions and stuff. And to be
Yeah,
honest, it's got to a point now where if I fail stuff in sessions, it doesn't even phase me. Like that doesn't make my session shit. My sessions are shit because like I feel terrible or I'm on my own
yeah,
and I'm having a fucking downer or whatever. But if
yeah,
I fail stuff, I'm just thinking I'll get that next time. That's like
yeah, totally.
I've already
Yeah,
put that in my head. Like, well, the minute I started that dumbbell, I knew I would get that within a week. I just knew it was going to be, I'm going to have to put a bit of work in to get it. And yeah, I love that money in the bank thing. And I also love the little comparisons of Thief of Joy because I say that all the fucking time.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I need to try and keep reminding myself of that, because I think like that especially has been really like at the forefront of stuff for me this prep for UKs. Again, like I think it's just because yeah, like I remember actually when I used to get sessions with Amelia and her saying like you should really consider training in like a like pure gym or something just for a day, because she was like your view of strength is so warped because
Because of each
you're
anyway.
around freakishly strong people all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you go and just do a session in a pure gym, not to make anyone in a pure gym feel bad, because like they're going and better themselves and fair play, but I think it's more a general representation of what strength is like
Yeah.
in the general public versus what it's like in my gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like I do need to keep reminding myself that yeah, everyone's on a different path. And today I'm feeling very zen about it, but if you were to interview me tomorrow, it might be different.
Yeah. It's one of them things though, easier said than done. Like the amount of people, like especially in comp run ups, like when I cared about comps, which I feel like I'm very much just on like fuck, I don't care about fucking anything at the moment. I feel like I care about finishing this fucking degree and that's it. And that's
Yeah,
probably gonna
yeah,
once I've done that, that'll ride me out for at least 3 months of not caring
yeah,
about anything still. So but yeah, when I was like competing seriously, like especially like Natty Worlds and stuff like that,
yeah,
I was having to mute people on Instagram. I was having
yeah.
to like genuinely ignore people because I was like, if I look at you, it's just gonna make me feel terrible about myself, and it's not a you problem, that's a me
No,
problem. I can't do
yeah,
anything about it right now.
yeah. And I think like it's really refreshing to hear like people talk about it, because I think like it's good like because I found that like I think last week maybe or the week before Roz and I had been in at the same time, both going for deadlift PBs, and like we both got them and they were class, but like I didn't want to post mine because I felt like it looked shit in comparison to her one, because her one looked so good.
Yeah,
And like I had like a little whingy rant about it, and like to see the amount of like solidarity messages that came through of like, yeah, like I see you, like I get it. And I think like it can be like that all consuming thing, because I know I've done that as well. Like I find myself like watching people in my weight class do if they've posted like a comp event, I'm like, oh, how many are you getting or whatever, and it's like it actually doesn't matter. Like
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. It honestly doesn't. And I think like the world's going to keep spinning after Saturday, whether I do really well or whether I don't, and it's going to be fine.
Absolutely. I always get to that point and then I have to keep reminding myself that I do it for fun, and I'm very bad at like I've got to the point now where if I'm in a place, or even to be honest, I do this day to day. If I'm doing something and I think, am I having a nice time and is this something that I do for fun? Like
Yeah,
why am I here? And
yeah,
are those reasons valid enough to continue this fucking traumatic experience that I'm having? If it's not, then fucking I'm going. I'm done.
yeah,
I'll just drop what
yeah,
I'm doing and be like, fucking see ya. I'm out.
yeah,
Can't be asked
yeah,
anymore. And I think that's like something that I've had to like really ultimating myself with, so that I have to make them decisions. And if I'm not having a fun time, well, go home then. And if I don't want to go home, well, you clearly are having a fun time, so fucking enjoy it and
Yeah,
stop being a whingy
on
little
with
bastard.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Like, I think, like, same, like you saying, if you're coming into a training session, you're feeling like shit, and actually, as you get through it, you're still feeling like shit, then it's having the awareness enough to be like, do you know what, I'm just going to go home and we'll pick this up another day because it's actually not improving my mood whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. You've got to be decisive sometimes, I think, and like
Yeah,
really understand like whether you're actually having fun, and if it's
yeah,
something that you're doing for fun, then great, and if it isn't, then fuck
yeah,
off.
totally.
Just give
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's when people post stuff like, "Oh, how bad do you want it?" or all that kind of other stuff, and I'm like, oh, "Come on, like,
It's
we're
not.
all just
We're all doing it for fucking fun, mate. Like
yeah,
at best, we're gonna
exactly.
win a grand. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
whoop de
exactly.
do. Yeah, fucking. I'll be able to afford what 2 days of rent or something in this day and age. Buzzing. Win for me. Yeah. Like
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it is, and I think like I'm the same as you. And as my training age gets on a bit, I'm like, yeah, nah, it's not that deep. It's all good. And if like you say, if it gets to the point where it's actually not making me happy anymore, I'm not enjoying it, then it's the time to stop.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I love that. Absolutely love that. Well, on that very decisive note, let's move
Yeah.
on to our silly goosing. So, do you have any silly gooses to bring? Actually, no, I nearly forgot a section because I've added this
Oh,
in just randomly. Have you got any
oh,
strongman bugs to bear or any strongman gossip you'd like to share? You don't have to.
oh.
It's just if
Do
you've
I have?
just a
Do
strongman
I?
bug, really. I'd like
Oh,
to find out what people's pet peeves are in strongman.
I'm trying to think if I've got anything. I feel like I have something in the back of my head that every time I see it, I'm like, that really pisses me off. But now I can't think what it is. God, that's
Do you
annoying.
know what pisses me off when strongmen are like, "Oh, family's everything. I'm so honest," and then they're
Right?
clearly not, are they? Bah,
Yeah.
bah. Don't get that in the women's side, do you? Well, you get
No.
some, you get a bit of it, but not as much as them.
Not to that level. Like not building an entire brand on that whole identity and then oh.
I've really enjoyed these falls from grace this week. Like the last couple of
Yeah.
weeks, it's made me
I
feel
have to
so much
yeah.
better about myself.
You know what? Like I think that is sometimes quite when you think like my like if I ever sit and be like, my life's really not going the way I want it to go. And then I see that and I'm like, it's actually not that big a deal.
It's not that bad. Not as bad as that
It's
one though.
really not that bad. And like thank Christ for Jer being on top of everything to just like
Those memes are
he's
so funny.
so good. And actually, he's aware of more strongman drama than I am. Like, I think like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that was going on.
He's on it, isn't he?
So
He's not my favourite person in the world, but his memes are hilarious. Like, I'll give him that. Like, I respect the art.
yeah, you've got to respect the art because it's pretty good. Man's fingers on the pulse at all times.
Yeah, he knows shit before anybody else. I don't know how, but he does.
I feel like when you just become the receptacle of that information, then like I feel like people are like, Jared needs to know this
People just
right now.
tell him, don't they? Yeah, to start the drama, I think, to cause the fires.
Yeah.
He's the
But
fire
yeah, I
starter.
can't think of any other pet peeves that I have. That's annoying. I'm gonna remember later, or I'm gonna have to message it and be like, "This."
Yeah, well, if you do, you can let us know. We'll add it in. We'll add it in.
Yeah.
I love posting pet peeves. I love people whinging about strongman. It's my favourite thing to do, to be honest. Anyway, let's get on. Let's do silly goose because I've kept you for fucking ages here. I'm always like, oh, podcasts only take about 40 minutes to an hour, and then I'm here after an hour, and I'm like, fucking, I haven't even finished the podcast. Whoopsie.
Oh no, sorry. I told you I can talk for ages.
Nah, we love that.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
So, do you have any silly gooses that you'd like to bring to the table?
I actually do have. I did. I was hunting around for some because I was like, I've got to ask you something. I feel like you always got to think up questions, so
Always.
I'll ask you one. Not really. So I don't know if it is. I suppose it is a bit silly, but like, see if you had the ability to teleport, do you reckon you get jet lag from it?
Yeah, depending on where you were going, because if you were going to a different time zone, so say like I teleported right now to like, well, the only one I know is Arizona because it's 7 hours behind, but that's because I've just fucking been there. So in case anyone didn't know, I've been to Arizona. But yeah, you'd surely would, because if I went there now, like I'd be 7 hours behind. I'd have to stay awake for an extra 7 hours that I wasn't expecting.
Would you though? Because you'd like, because I feel like the travel as well is what absolutely ruins you.
Yeah,
But you wouldn't have, you'd just be right there.
I think it would be lesser, but I still
Yeah,
think you'd get a little bit of it because your body would have to adjust.
adjust to the different time.
Yeah, but it would surely be much less because you wouldn't have that horrific travel time in between.
Yeah, it'd be nice
Maybe.
if you just teleport yourself to places.
Do you know what? It's actually a bit sad how much I think about teleportation and how much I love it, because I think about it all the time. Like when I'm fucking on my way to fucking placement, I'm like, fuck, it'd be so much easier if I could
Even
teleport.
if you could just teleport
I
here.
hate
Yeah.
traveling. I hate travel time for me. It just infuriates me.
No,
Waste of
definitely.
time. Waste of
Yeah.
time.
I feel like that's the thing. Like, I'm put off from doing comps because I can't be bothered with the travel.
Yeah, like we've got Irish Strength Cup coming up, and honestly, the thought
Yeah,
of
yeah.
getting to that cunt, I'm like, fucking hell, like I cannot be arsed. And like, even when people are like, oh, why don't you fly instead of drive? Yeah, good idea. You've got to drive fucking a couple of hours either side anyway.
Anyway, yeah,
So
that's it. It
why
doesn't
would I deal with the fucking ball ache of driving airport and then driving again? I'd rather just drive the whole way and there be
Yeah.
one form of transport.
Yep. I would, yeah. I think, well, you've got till what, June, July to work out how to teleport yourself there.
Oh god, if anybody comes up with teleportation by then, please.
Given how much time you've spent thinking about it, surely you've got to.
That's my Roman Empire teleportation. That's my yeah. I think about it at least I would say every fucking day. It comes up in my head, and I think, "Fuck, it'd be easy to teleport, wouldn't it?" And then I'm like, "Still not there. Fucking hell!
Still
Come
not
on,
there, not yet.
come on, Elon. What the fuck? What are we playing at now?" Yeah.
I love the fact that you had actually genuinely thought about this as well.
Oh yeah. But teleportation's up there with Bermuda Triangle for me. Like
Yeah.
in my head, my Roman empires are weird, but they are there.
Yeah, I really enjoy that whole phrase from this podcast. That's my Roman Empire.
Well, what would your Roman Empire be? What's your Roman Empire? What do you think about every day that you're like, that's a weird thing to think about, but it's there every day?
Oh God, there's actually the limit doesn't exist on how many weird thoughts go through my head in a day. Like
We need a reoccurring one, something that's like a constant thought. Because what I do is when I'm bored and I've got nothing to think about, like say I'm at placement and there's nothing going on and I can't sit on my phone or anything, so I'll just think of things like I'm like, wouldn't teleportation be cool? Fucking hell, imagine where you could go, imagine this, imagine that. Or I'm like, Bermuda Triangle, I really need to research a bit more about this. I can't think, like, I wonder what it actually is about. Like, and that's what I'll do. I like make little plans in my head of things I need to check out later on for like just my
how much research have you done on the Bermuda Triangle?
hardly any, because I don't have any real time to do it and I need to sit down and do it. But whenever I actually have time to do things, I have to do my actual jobs. But
Yeah.
so it just keeps coming up and I just keep thinking about it and thinking wild ideas about it.
It keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
I feel like my little sister is really bad for that. Like I feel like if those thoughts come into my head, that's the problem, is I need to find the answer like immediately, otherwise it'll just irritate the shit out of me for the whole day. And like if ever my sister and I are traveling somewhere, like she doesn't give a shit if it comes into her head or if it goes out. But like she'll do right before we're about to go to sleep. She said to me, what was the other one the other day? She was like, oh, do you remember the tiger in Aladdin? Like, what was its name? Like, why the fuck would you ask me that before we go to sleep? So like, then I'm up like Googling bloody Disney characters before.
She's just like, good night.
Yeah, honestly. I actually found it and I was like, right, okay, I know the answer. But she was asleep. Great.
That's class. That's absolutely class. Yeah, I'm a bit like that. Well, I think just ideas come into my head, but what I do is I write them down on my Strongwoman highs. This is where all my
Nice.
silly goose ideas come from, to be honest. Is
Okay.
these dead times where I've got nothing, I'm not allowed to do anything, so my brain just runs away with itself, and then I think, oh, that's a fucking good idea. Write that down. A lot of the time when I'm driving is a great one. I get a lot of fucking really stupid ideas when I'm driving.
Yeah. I just have like really long-winded conversations with myself when I'm driving. It's usually just trying to rationalize shit that's going on in my head.
You need to get more conceptualized and just start thinking about weird shit. It's well more
Really,
fun.
that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, it brings you onto so much stuff. Like, I was thinking the other day, I think I'd been listening to the Anna podcast, and I was talking about this squirrel birthday song or something, and I was like, I wonder what other animals would have birthdays. Like, I wonder if they like celebrate holidays and stuff. Do animals have like holidays? Do they have any concept of
Do they
like,
even know? Like,
yeah, do they know when Christmas comes round? Like, I wonder if they celebrate their own things. But
yeah.
we'll never know,
I mean,
because I'm not going to
some
check.
no.
It's weaponized ignorance. Just to piss people off. I'm here like asking stupid questions, going, and I don't know the answer. I'm not going to tell you. Just like I haven't asked you the answer to the question that you had about the tiger. No. I'm going to make you podcast listeners find that out yourself.
You can find it out for yourself. You can
spend a bit of time like it is in my brain with no answers.
Yeah.
Just questions.
If you've got an itchy brain and you have to find it out immediately, you can Google it.
Amazing. I love that. Right, I actually do have a silly goose question for you as well, and this is a pretty good one. This was from, so I'd listened to the KLC Strongcast on the way back, and someone had asked them a question that was like, if you could have a superpower but it was petty, what would it be? But I want to know, if you could have a superpower but it has to be completely useless.
Completely useless?
Yeah, just completely like a pointless superpower. It's not going to really help or hinder anybody. It just is. So my one would be that I would be able to fart with no noise or smell. Because it would, to be fair, it would be useful. It would be useful for me. So it's not entirely useless, but it's not really a superpower because it's not really helping the greater good, is it? It's just helping me, because you could just fart whenever then. And it would be amazing. Although it would make it sad because farts are still hilarious at this age.
Yeah, I think whatever age you get to, they are funny.
All funny, and if you don't laugh at them, then you're sad. You're missing out on a lot of laughs.
Yeah, I think, like, what are you doing with your life if you don't find that funny?
Yeah, I totally agree. But yeah, that would be my useless superpower.
To be fair, that would be a good one, actually, because I think the amount of times it happens when you're lifting and you're like, oh no, that's just embarrassing. But you wouldn't need to worry about it if there was no noise or smell.
Well, I always think, like, how many times when you're in, like, professional situations and you can't fart and then your tummy really hurts and it, like, makes those horrible gurgly noises. People are like, oh, you're hungry? And I'm thinking, nah, I just really need a fart. So, like, you'd never have that again. It would be amazing.
Yeah. It would be. Probably, which I feel like I would quite like as a superpower, although again, not really much for the greater good, would probably be to read people's minds. I would quite like that.
Yeah, that would be good.
If you ask Stephen, I can do it already. He thinks that's what I do as a job, but
that's your actual job.
For anyone listening, I don't do that as a job, so
no, you have to tell her what you're thinking. She can't just read the mind.
No, I don't. But I would actually really like to do that.
Well, to make that useless superpower would be that you could read people's minds, but then you can't do anything about what you think, what you hear.
Oh no, I wouldn't be able to like act on it or actually say to them like, oh, I know that you're thinking that. Yeah. It would just I could know what it was, but I couldn't say or do anything about it.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'd love to read people's mind, but I also think I'd just get too offended and obsessed.
I think I would get offended or obsessed, and sometimes I think there's definitely people I know that actually I really don't want to know, because that would be the thing. If I want the superpower, I can't switch it off. Yeah. So it would. You got to take the bad with the good.
Yeah, 100%. And some people I don't even want to hear them fucking talk, let alone think.
Yeah. So I think there would be a lot of noise to wade through before I managed to really hone the useless superpower. But it's still probably what I would pick.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's great. Well, thank you very much for joining in with that ridiculousness of Silly Goose. I appreciate it a lot.
Not a problem.
Thanks for being on the podcast. Where can people find you if they want to follow you and do all that sort of stuff?
Instagram's the only thing that I have. Jamie likes to tell me because I'm old that I don't have TikTok or anything else. So do with that information what you will.
TikTok's dead. Dead.
Yeah.
It's been dead forever. People are trying to revive it like it's a younger person's game. It's not. The young person's game is Snapchat, so...
I don't have that either. So
I'm not fucking playing them games. Like, that's fucking
no. Ridiculous. I'm too honestly see some of the things that I do at work now is with teenagers sometimes, and they talk about all these like slang words and like emojis that you use, and I'm like, I am actually really old because I have no fucking clue what you're saying.
Yeah, I like that though, because I mean, kids these days, awful. Bin
Yeah,
for
you
all of
guys
them.
crack on, you can have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram's the only place I'm at. So at Hopey Popey is my Instagram handle. And yeah, contrary to what people believe, Popey is not my surname, although a lot of people think that it is.
It would be a funny name though if you were called Hope Pope.
To be fair, actually, one of my best friends, her husband's surname is Pope, and she always says, like, wouldn't it be funny if you married him? I was like, well, no, because he's your husband, so.
No, there was a serious breakdown of relationships there, but
There'd be a lot of
okay.
heavy be kind things going on there, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, awesome. Well, I'll tag your Instagram in the show notes below, so if anyone wants to go follow Hope, they can do. And yeah, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
Awesome, and we will see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Strongwoman Highs, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the podcast, then please give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you would like, we're also on buymeacoffee.com/Strongwoman Highs. This is where you can send us tips, or you can also join our membership area, which is $5 a month or £4 a month. It's the silly gosling level. We'll post out any extra content that we get on there, and hopefully a few little like free giveaways of things as well. The podcast currently doesn't cost a lot to run, which is what we're trying to keep it as, but we would like to be able to cover our costs, and also once those costs are covered, any profit that is made on Strongwoman Highs will be getting saved up and put into a pot for future Strongwoman competitions that we can sponsor. So if you have a Strongwoman competition that you'd like to be sponsored, or if you want to be on the podcast, then give us a shout, send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, anywhere else you can get us, and we'll get it sorted, because the more women that we can get on, the better. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye!